The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to Monday's News. I am Rex Litter.
And I'm Jasmine Jack. Join me later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, concern over exam abolishment, Rosso refutes security threat claims, and Dimitrio happy with first stint. A head teacher has expressed his concern following a recent news article that outlined the abolishment of grade 8 examination. Deserving junior high school principal Raz Pascal emphasized that most schools nationwide are facing challenges with infrastructure and learning resources. He expressed concern that their limited facility will not be able to cater for the influx of grade 9 students.
Zifasing Junior High School in Morobe's Huengulf district was established to cater to the students of Wampar LLG who, prior to 2023, had to find space in schools in Salamoa or nearby districts. This proved to be costly and risky for students, as most times they became victims of school fights. The former primary school of Zifasing started registering grade 9 students in 2023 with no library, no ablution facilities, no staff accommodation, and no teachers' guides and students' textbooks. Their situation remains the same this year, with Principal Raj Pascal expressing concern that the Education Minister's announcement to abolish grade 8 examination will cause more harm than good. Education Minister Lucas Dekena reportedly announced last month that from next year onwards, grade 8s will progress to high school without sitting for their national examinations. This policy hopes to minimize the grade 8 and 10 dropout rate. The Morobe Provincial Education Board has also questioned the rationale behind the decision, saying their schools already have issues with overcrowded classrooms, lack of learning materials, and teachers having to juggle multiple roles while their welfares are not taken care of. Kamila Guare, TVWAN News, Ley.
The second batch of the 2023 Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary recruitment will begin training on Tuesday, November 12th. The opening ceremony of the training took place today at the Bomana Center of Excellence in Port Moresby.
The second batch of more than 200 recruits in the 2023 Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary Recruitment Program will commence second batch training on Tuesday, November 12, 2024 at the Bomana Center of Excellence. Deputy Police Commissioner Administration Dr. Philip Mitna and Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Training Peru Drano made the announcement at today's opening ceremony of the second batch training. Acting ACP Training Drano urged the recruits to refrain from going against the constabulary's policies and learn as much as they can during the training.
Do not resist. Do not try to go against the system. It will get you.
Sharing similar sentiments, Dr. Mitna said focusing on the training and enforcing the core functions of discipline will enable them to perform better policing duties.
216 of you in this building. I'd like to see 216 graduate, but that doesn't mean that we mass produce the 216 plus. It comes back to your discipline and your commitment to training.
Dr. Mitna urged recruits, administration, and support staff of the Bomana Center of Excellence to work with acting ACP training and ensure the training runs smoothly. He said emphasis will be put on discipline. He said recruits will be removed should they break any rules or laws of the constabulary during the 6-month training.
He has given the decentralized function to discipline. So anything you do today, for the commencement of this training to the time you pass out, anything to do with discipline rests on Mr. Philip. He can dismiss. On record, I have on my table on average every month we've been dismissing people, 4 to 6 per month, and that's frightening. For a police force, almost 6,000 plus, against a population of 13 to 14, guesstimates of 15 to 16 million. That's frightening. You are part of the solution to fix the gap.
Police recruit training was reduced from 9 months to 6. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
The third day of the NCD Women Expo and Summit emphasized peace, safety and security, combating violence, enhancing safety and navigating cultural challenges. The summit was organized to increase investment in the women folk of the country and push for change.
Papua New Guinea is ranked 160 out of 161 countries in the 2021 United Nations Gender Inequality Index as the most dangerous place to live in the region for women and girls. This figure was reported by the Human Rights Watch World Report. The third day of the NCD Women Expo and Summit brought together individuals and stakeholders involved in the awareness against gender-based violence to talk about the drastic changes needed to ensure the safety and security of the country's womenfolk. Director of National GBV Secretariat Diane Kambanei stressed that combating gender-based violence requires a collective action with other agencies, the government, and the people to actually see change in the country.
I really want us to partner together. I really believe that this issue can be resolved. And I say resolved because GBV around the world is still an issue. However, I believe if we collectively put our hands together, we can assist the referral pathway. We can work to combat GBV. The referral pathway does not work at the moment. Each of us know what the referral pathway in this room because we work in this space. But the litmus test of how it works is if the girl on the street is experiencing violence, does she know who to call and where to go to? No, she won't know. And so that actually is quite a burden on my heart, that how do we ensure that this system is working so that daughters and even men, I'm focusing a lot on women because we know it impacts more women, but we know men are also survivors of GBV. I've had men come into the office to ask for help. And so how do we ensure that this city is working?
NCD Governor Paul Spakov gave an opening address on the issue as governor and his capacity as the chairman of the Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality and Women Empowerment.
You can complain, you go, but we need the tools. What are the policy metrics? What are the legal metrics? And of course, what are the resources that are allocated so that we can design the program and then manifest change? Because we cannot keep on complaining forever. We must come up with solutions. So this conversation too, I hope will take place today and tomorrow. And I want to invite you all to be critical or subject this, discussion to high scrutiny.
A panel discussion was held on policy matrix for gender equality, women empowerment, and GBV. Another panel discussion was on addressing violence and security issues and creating safe spaces in the city. After the panel discussions, participants were divided into 3 groups for 1-hour workshops for quality output. Jasmine Irajak, TVWAN News.
The grandfather of the late Jessica Yori, who was stabbed to death at the Tabari bus stop in NCD during the Red Vamper walk, yesterday called on the national government and police to regulate the use and selling of bush knives and knives.
Late Jessica Yori's family continued to pursue justice for their slain daughter. Her grandfather, Lucas Muka, and relatives participated in the Red Vamba walk over the weekend as part of their commitment to ending violence against women and girls. They also put forward a plea to the government and law enforcers to regulate the use and selling of bush knives and knives, as they are being abused and used as weapons to harm and kill.
Deaths that are happening in the city now are through bush knives and knives. Bush knives and knives must be controlled. The sales of bush knives and knives must be controlled. The usage of bush knives and knives must be controlled. I am now asking you, the authority, the city authority, the metropolitan city, the national government, to seek seriously into this one.
Muka called on the police hierarchy to beef up manpower in public spaces and capture the main culprit who stabbed his granddaughter to death. The suspect is still on the run, and City Governor Powers Pakop is also urging police to capture the alleged killer.
Not being done. Up to now, the perpetrator is still roaming around free, and I want to add my voice to their call for the police to multiply their effort to reach out to arrest this person. We all know him, and we must arrest him. And when we arrest one perpetrator, everybody else who might have a tendency to commit violence against the women, against girls, will start to stop. And when we fail, not only we fail one family, but we fail everybody, because we are indirectly giving permission, allowing the continuation of violence against women, violence against girls, and violence generally in our city and in our country.
Pakop added that the city authority is launching the Women's Forum this month in response to supporting policing efforts by security personnel and development partners. This initiative aims to make the city safer for women and girls and the general public too.
Announcement that we will be launching an initiative soon, but I've held back launching this initiative because I want it to be a right initiative, to be an initiative that will work, that will help the police and everybody to bring safety and security to our city.
Meanwhile, the NCT governor said wardens comprising of youths will be deployed to the streets of Port Moresby to help police minimize lawlessness. They are currently undergoing training to understand their roles and responsibilities before they go out to the public and implement what is expected of them. Governor Pakop said they must know and understand what they need to do to better protect women and girls, especially those utilizing public amenities in hotspot areas like Boroko, Gordons and Manu.
So the wardens are here. It's been 1 or 2 weeks now, but I have not allowed the wardens to be deployed because first and foremost, these wardens, they must learn to look after themselves first before they go and look after women and girls of our city.
This is TVWAN News. Among stories after the break, 10 finalists for MBOP announced and Anselm Memorial Church opens in Mendi.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Open Lens.
every time, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Superstition ain't the way.
Welcome back. The PNG government and the National Department of Health recently bolstered the country's commitment to malaria elimination. The Milne Bay Provincial Health Authority and Asia Pacific Malaria Leaders Alliance inked a memorandum of understanding on 4th November 2024 to forge a partnership to improve malaria services and programs in Milne Bay. The collaboration will support efforts to contain and reduce the malaria burden in selected villages in Milne Bay. Healthcare staff will engage with the communities to ensure appropriate protective measures and health-seeking behavior. Staff will also receive regular training for testing, treatment and reporting protocols in the communities. 10 finalists have been announced by Miss Bird of Paradise Committee. These young women will participate in the 2024 Miss Bird of Paradise pageant next month.
The Bird of Paradise Committee received an impressive range of applications from outstanding young women from across the country. In a statement, the MBOP committee advised that it was a difficult decision selecting 10 finalists, and the process required a thorough selection process covering intelligence, vision, beauty, and dedication. The 10 finalists are May Torowi Hasola, Joyce Jerry, Caitlin Latumahina, Shanae Leslie, Natalie Moyawa, Yasmin Tabogani, Jan Kiara Sitapai, Navieli Kavop, Michaeline Marum, and Geta Kambar. These 10 young women will contest for the 2024 Miss Bird of Paradise pageant on December the 3rd, 2024. The date aligns with the International Day of Disabilities. MBOP shared that the pageant is dedicated to advocating for the educational rights of children with disabilities, championing inclusion and accessibility across the country. The pageant is a platform for purpose and advocacy where the crown is dedicated to service. Jasmine Erojak, TVWAN News.
Member for Gazelle and Minister for Fisheries, Jelta Wong, has urged the people of Vunagamata in the Level 1 local level government area of Gazelle district in East New Britain province to embrace and support the tourism industry in the area. Wong made this call when officially opening the William Kilala Memorial Hall at Vunagamata over the weekend.
Tourism encompasses much more than just leisurely vacations and exploring far-off destinations. Member for Gazelle and Minister for Fisheries and Marine Resources, Jelta Wong, has urged his people to tap into tourism industry and participate in the spin-offs tourism can provide in their area. He said the Gazelle District Development Authority plans to build more tourism infrastructure in the area, but need people to embrace the changes that will come with it.
Tourism. I mean, as a people put him rot, but my said, girl man must say this. You must welcome him, my man. Tamo man like a picnic lawyer. You can provide him firewood, charge him all 20 kina, but lose him out. Let him all come enjoy him this lahap, enjoy him wara blue me, see blue me. Let him all come and walk him, but you look him as some planty man magam.
Wong is banking on the young and agile to take lead in the industry. He added that there is too much of the blame game for lack of service delivery.
Ting lo go to school, walking school good, but ting lo respect lo go to mama and papa. You know easy time where mama and papa will buy school fee for you, even though government them subsidize him, planting long all, but he must got this level of respect to stop. Where you believe us and Papa Mama blue, time will born him you. On the born him you nothing. Or give him reason lo you. And God give him picking lo finish long all give him this la picking lo mipla. This la picking must come up and walk and want to go to something inside the place believe me. Me got this la belief. Now Mr. Belief lo this la respect where or picking must show him lo Papa Mama. Sometimes this la Western cultures to come inside lo place believe me. Plenty of picnic blooming plus Gaman hari abna. Welcome this la Facebook number. Facebook in a life. Facebook and one platform where all months ago siran now youth now all months looking all this love something or looking Mary or man siran la up now throw my hook go all pull him or come inside low. Can something. Facebook does not run our wards, does not run our allergies, or does not run our district or our province. And you, Mr. Walking.
Wong also encouraged partnership with churches to address socio-economic challenges and progress together as a district. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The introduction of the international banks like the Bank of China into the country could alleviate foreign exchange challenges and boost trade for PNG. Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso has affirmed his support for the establishment of the Bank of China in the country.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Lands and Physical Planning John Rosso recently stated that if the Bank of China or any other bank meet international laws and Papua New Guinea financial and banking regulations, they are welcome to operate in the country. He stated that more banking options could help stabilize PNG's foreign exchange availability, especially the US dollar, and allow trade in Chinese currency. Mr. Rosso dismissed concerns about potential national security risk and clarified that a bank is here to boost the economy and trade and is not a national security threat to the country or the region. He said that despite the arrival of the Bank of China, PNG's strong bilateral relationship with Australia would remain unaffected. Furthermore, Rosso stressed that as long as the Bank of China complies with PNG's banking regulations, it should be allowed to operate and facilitate ease of business and economic growth in the country. The Bank of China established its presence in the country in 2023 in Port Moresby. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The United Church Highlands Region Circuit celebrated the grand opening of the long-awaited Anselm Halape Memorial Church building in Mendi on Saturday, 9th November 2024. Mendi Munihu MP Raphael Tonpi attended the event alongside United Church of PNG, Highlands Regional Bishop Stanley Buka, Mendi Town Circuit leaders and church members.
The vision of establishing the Anselm Halape Memorial Church infrastructure began in early 1990s to create a sacred community space. Various groundbreaking efforts took place between 1994 and 1995, guided by Reverend Han Morris and Reverend George Rombo. Over the weekend, this vision manifested with the grand opening of the church. Mendi Munihu MP Raphael Tonpi attended the event alongside United Church of PNG Highlands Regional Bishop Stanley Buka, Mendi Town Circuit leaders and church members. In 1996, contractor C. Clough laid the foundation, while builders from Kerama in Gulf Province continued constructions from 1997 to 1999. Various facilitators, including Reverend David Sika and Reverend James Karaba, oversaw sporadic building efforts from 2000 to 2007. A significant milestone occurred in 2008 when late Anselm Halape was elected as chairman of Mendytown Church, a position he held until his untimely passing in January 2022. Halape faced a lot of obstacles during construction. When he died, his successor, Chairman Cohen Waspen, Deputy Chairman John Jen Piso, and Reverend John Aga ensured the construction was completed, culminating in the grand opening on Saturday, November 9th. Late Halape's son, Emmanuel, expressed gratitude to the bishop and the United Church for preserving his father's legacy by naming the church building in his honor. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
And now a look at finance news. The Kina closed lower at $0.2528 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2453 US, $0.3688 Australian dollars, $0.2215 euro, and 37.15 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, copra, palm oil, and copra closed higher, while gold, coffee, cocoa, and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase EasyPay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Harem talk young or roll, the scale rice family meal with toast. Don't bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite by miles. Senisi gola scale rice, low scale price. Senisi gola scale rice, low scale price. But you like him?
Bro, it's awesome, man.
Let's see promotion.
I'm so excited.
Let's go.
And the Pepsi from Max.
Pepsi from Max.
And how do you win this? 2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro.
2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win
this box of Max.
It's crazy cool. My God. Pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Cool box.
Yeah!
Rugby League is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you walk him, I'm come up community. You must not community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Welcome back. In news abroad, the Fiji Corrections Service has confirmed that former Prime Minister Frank Bainimarama has been granted early release as of today. This decision follows a comprehensive review of his application, which was processed in line with the relevant legal provisions governing early release and supervised reintegration. The Corrections Act allows for early release of inmates based on specific criteria that ensure the security of the community and the facilitation of an inmate's reintegration. All requirements were rigorously assessed, including eligibility criteria, conditions for release, and supervisory measures in place, in accordance with the guidelines established under Fiji Corrections Service regulations. There's been another deadly round of Israeli attacks in Gaza's north, with Hamas saying more than 30 Palestinians have been killed in an attack on a residential building. Locals say the dead are all members of the same family and that there were more than 50 people inside the house when it was hit.
It was a strike that ripped through a neighbourhood in the northern Gaza town of Jabalia, an area which has been the focus for the Israel Defence Forces campaign against Hamas over the course of the last month. The IDF saying the group is using the area to regroup and refocus its efforts. Locals say the dead are all members of the same family and that there were more than 50 people inside the house when it was hit. The IDF insisting it was targeting Hamas militants, some of the group's fighters saying they'd been targeting Israeli soldiers in nearby Beit Lahia. Dozens of bodies from Jabalia were taken to a hospital in Gaza City where their relatives mourned.
We woke up and we found this massacre. We don't even know why this massacre happened or why these poor people were targeted. They were just living ordinary lives, going about their daily routines. They're not part of any organisation or faction or anything.
To Israel's north, strikes in Lebanon have killed dozens, including in areas not usually associated with the militant group Hezbollah. In the village of Almat, north of Beirut, crews were digging through the rubble to find survivors after a strike hit the town. Hezbollah is usually seen as operating in southern and increasingly eastern Lebanon. In places like the Bekaa Valley, where strikes have also continued over the weekend, paramedics among the dead there. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says attacks against Israeli football supporters in the Dutch capital Amsterdam are evidence of growing anti-Semitism, which he says is a threat to Israel and a threat right around the world. Some of the Maccabi Tel Aviv supporters have been accused of chanting anti-Palestinian rhetoric, of ripping down Palestinian flags. Those are issues that Benjamin Netanyahu didn't address in his latest video statement.
Donald Trump has reportedly called Vladimir Putin and discussed the war in Ukraine, urging the Russian president not to escalate the conflict. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also confirmed he has spoken to Trump since his election victory. Trump and Joe Biden will meet in the Oval Office on Wednesday, when they are expected to discuss foreign policy issues across Europe and the Middle East. Port Hedland in Western Australia, Pilbara region, is at the heart of a multi-billion iron ore industry, which underpins the national economy. It is a major effort to get the ore to port, with the role of guiding the giant bark ore carriers requiring the skills of highly trained marine pilots, and the port is encouraging more women to take on the challenge.
3,000 giant ships arrive off the coast of Port Hedland every year to collect and deliver the iron ore that makes this port one of the busiest in the world. Guiding these giants requires specialist knowledge. The ABC was flown on a Pilbara Ports flight to witness a marine pilot bringing a 300-metre-long bulk carrier into port.
The pilot, in essence, manages the risk and channel integrity of the port and the port infrastructure. So I look at a pilot as like an insurance policy.
With around 600 million tonnes of material passing through Port Hedland every year, the economic output is comparable to the entire economy of countries like Myanmar or Turkmenistan. It was the chance to join such a big operation that lured Mr Ruxton from the Port of London to WA's remote northwest.
Everybody wants to drive the bigger ships, and this is what I'm able to do here.
Bringing him in was part of a new strategy to employ marine pilots directly rather than relying on contractors.
COVID was really a reality check for us in terms of the reliability of bringing pilots to port. A lot of ours were based on the East Coast. That caused a lot of problems.
Marine pilot-related delays at the port have come down about 60%, and our aim is to get that essentially to zero.
The port also wants to employ more women in this role. Only 10 women are working as marine pilots in Australia. 2 are in Port Hedland.
Going to sea isn't the natural career path for women. It's very much more accepted now that you can go to sea, that you can have that full career path to master or to pilotage or in the port itself.
A career path keeping Australia's iron ore powerhouse in ship shape.
As the Pacific heads into COP29 in Azerbaijan, Pacific Islands Forum says the key goal for the negotiations must be to keep the 1.5 degrees Celsius global alive. Our survival cannot be compromised. Climate change is the single greatest threat to the livelihoods and security of the Pacific, says PIF. The PIF says the long-standing commitment of the Pacific leaders and negotiations since the first COP has helped to ensure recognition of the world's most vulnerable nations, who have contributed the least to cause the current climate crisis, yet to suffer the most. Australians have paused for a minute of silence to acknowledge, honor and remember those who have died while serving in conflicts and peacekeeping operations.
A service to be held at the newly redeveloped Australian War Memorial in Canberra. Members of the 3 armed services making use of the new parade ground at the start of the service. Shortly after, the Governor-General, Her Excellency Miss Sam Mostyn, was welcomed to the proceedings, her first Remembrance Day in the post. The catafalque party of the Federation Guard completed their ceremonial march to stand at the 4 corners of the Stone of Remembrance. The last post was played, immediately followed by the minute's silence at the stroke of 11 o'clock. The Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, attended the service, as did the Chief of Defence, Admiral David Johnston, senior members of the Defence Forces and several hundred veterans, their families and members of the public. Giving the commemorative address, the Governor-General paid tribute to Australia's armed forces. The Governor-General laid a wreath at the Stone of Remembrance. Local school children laid poppies. Originally known as Armistice Day to mark the laying down of arms in 1918, the first commemoration was in 1919 and was observed across Australia. 400,000 Australians enlisted for service in the First World War, 60,000 gave their lives. The Australian War Memorial opened on Remembrance Day in 1941 as the Second World War raged. The Governor-General of the day, Lord Gowrie, saying in his remarks that Australia should never again go to war.
In the months since my swearing in as your Governor-General, and as Commander-in-Chief of the Australian Defence Force, I have experienced many times of reflection on what service really means and the ways in which we commemorate. I have had the great privilege of encountering the people and places of the ADF across Australia, at Holsworthy Barracks, RAF Base Tyndall, Fleet Base East, on HMAS Adelaide, with the 6th Aviation Regiment, the 2nd Commando Regiment, the cadets at the Royal Military College here at Duntroon, and the women and men who work alongside me every day. On land, at sea and in the sky, in theatres of war and in zones for peacekeeping, in protecting our borders and working in support of the safety and progress of our nation and our region, the Australian Defence Force is a modern force, upholding the greatest of Australian values, continuing the legacy of the service of generations past and demonstrating the very best of our nation.
Today marks 106 years since the end of the First World War.
That ends the news segment. Sports is next with Jasmine. Stay with us.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 26 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Na 5,000, probably when he die, maybe to back probably good plus something bro you me. So fighting no good plus something. All go along town, now all finding work, no got no come up Roscoe.
Money, stop lo ground do you me. Na ino lo city taso. Yumi talk lo take back PNG. Emma start lo place. Yumi must plan na tintin lo future generation. But we cannot let our differences separate us.
Fight was finished!
Thanks for staying with us. In sports, Polaroid Arrows have edged out Dark Moon 2 to claim the Port Moresby Darts Association Shield over the weekend. An intense grand final exchange saw both sides putting up a quality challenge, but Polaroid prevailed in the end with 6 stars to 2.
Darkroom 2 registered the first star on the board in the team game and looks certain to register more after that in the trembles, doubles and singles matches. However, a resilient Polaroid's Arrows crawled back into the contest, and by the second singles match, were garnering for that 6 star to seal the deal. The females singles challenge was the determining match for Poro Arrows. Arrows captain Arua Leke, who won the first single match, was massive in keeping his side composed in the doubles and singles. Leke was later rewarded with the Best Player award.
I'd like to thank my team players. They put the best in throughout the season. This game, I'm so happy about the team events. They won the team event, but bounced back to get the trebles and the doubles.
Leke said he was also fortunate to have a few national representative players in his side, and they came through for the team in regular competition right through to the grand final.
Our single champion from Kokopot national title, Lawi Morris, is with us. So he boosted us, like he won the singles title, and like playing with us, I have good players around me, so like playing with other teams, it's like normally we're just going and win the match.
On the other spectrum, the grand final defeat to Arrow marked a third straight grand final loss for Dark Moon. Dark Moon 2 has been a dominant team in the competition, only losing 2 games this season. They couldn't nail it in the big one again. Club patron Darius Kombe expressed mixed emotions after his side suffered another grand final defeat. He conceded the best team won on the day, and it was simply not their day.
We started from nothing, and we were knocked out on behalf of these two teams, especially Dark-Moon 2, who just lost to the grand final. But hey, we just being unlucky today, and we are a fighter. We will always come back. It's just there has to be a winner and a loser. So just unfortunate for us now.
In the third place playoff, PNG defeated Tioli to claim the bronze medal placing. The Port Moresby Darts Association Grand Final ended with presentation of trophies and medals to outstanding individual players and teams in various categories. Port Moresby Darts Association President Merok Kielet thanked participating clubs, sponsors and everyone involved in the success of this year's competition and looks forward to another great season in 2025. Rex Litter, TVWAN Sports.
PNG Kumuls yesterday suffered defeat in the hands of a strong New Zealand Kiwis outfit 54-12 in the Pacific Championship promotion relegation match in Sydney, Australia. Despite the defeat, Kumuls head coach Jason Demetrio is proud to have coached the team in its 2024 Pacific Championship campaign and is already looking forward to future events.
The PNG Kumuls was pushed into the corner in the competition in the promotion relegation match by the New Zealand Kiwis, who started the match on a high note and never looked back. The intense battle up the middle third was even until the Kiwis took full control of the match in the second half to win the game comfortably. Kumuls coach Jason Demetrio admitted that there are levels to the game, and it was shown on the football field between his side and the Kiwis. Demetrio conceded that his side has talent and potential, but some of his players failed to own their roles. Coach Demetrio added that the injury to Robert Matthias didn't help his side either. It put players under pressure to defend in unfamiliar positions, and this took a toll on them as they put in heaps of defensive work. Captain Rhys Martin was one of the best for PNG Kumuls on the ground. He said the team understood the task at hand and were prepared for it, but they were starved of ball possession. Martin said, regardless, they managed to stay in the grind. He said the disallowed tries and the two late tries for the Kiwis got the better of them. Demetrius said he enjoyed his time as the Kumuls coach, having led some exciting rugby league talents in PNG, and speaks highly of them. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
Orchid's captain Elsie Albert is adamant the tale of PNG Orchid's Pacific Championships campaign lies not in the results, but in the enormous impact it will have on aspiring youngsters back home. The Orchids' loss to Fetus Samoa on Sunday means they dropped from the top-tier Pacific Cup down to the Pacific Bowl in 2025. But the skipper could hold her head high after another inspirational display as she went the full 70 minutes in blistering heat. Playing in her 10th test for PNG, Albert crossed for 2 tries, racked up 178 run meters, busted 13 tackles and made 23 tackles of her own to take home player of the match honors. After being shut out 84-0 by the Gillaroos and 36-0 by the Kiwi Ferns, the Orchids were determined to score at Comeback Stadium, and when Albert powered over in the 48th minute, the joy on her teammates' face told the story. The Oceania Football Confederation's strong partnership with Football Australia and the Australian government has paved the way for inviting Australian-based clubs interested in participating in the OFC Professional League, set to kick off in 2026.
OFC's consideration of an Australian-based club reflects the strong Pacific communities across Australia and the ease of travel access to Pacific nations. This inclusion also brings significant benefits, including increased visibility and market reach, enhanced competitive standards, stronger economic and cultural links, and new development pathway for Pacific players. The OFC Professional League is a forward-thinking initiative designed to propel football in Oceania to new heights, create meaningful opportunities for players and clubs, and establish a professional structure that can compete at the global level. This league will create essential pathways for talent development, allowing young players to grow within a professional environment and reducing the need to seek opportunities abroad. Beyond football, the league strengthens community ties and regional unity, promoting shared growth and collaboration among OFC member nations. The OFC Executive Committee has been presented with a variety of formats that are suitable for a competition that can span several countries across the Pacific. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast with Rex.
In regional forecast, southern Port Moresby, partly cloudy with chances of few showers at some spots. Daru, partly cloudy with few rain showers, and Alatau, periods of clouds with rain. Momase, Lay, partly cloudy with brief showers. Madang, mostly fine. Wewak and Vanimo, partly cloudy with some rain showers. New Guinea Islands, Kevin and Buka, mostly fine. Kokopo Rabaul, partly cloudy with few rain showers. Highlands, Montagan, partly cloudy with chances of some rain. Garoka Bands and Kundiawa, becoming cloudy with some rain and possible thunderstorm. Mediterranean Wabeg, mostly cloudy with some rain and thunderstorms. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral seas, seas moderate to rough with easterly winds of 20 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, seas light with southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas light to moderate with easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, Kiwai Islands, Kerema, Yule Island, Good Point to Samurai Island, Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters of Finsafen through Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island and Madang to Wewak, Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends the news tonight. From the news team, thanks for your company. Bye now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.